Morning, everyone. I'm Sister Jenna, your host for our new America Meditating segment called Wise-ish. It's your power boost for the morning. It's for you to take your dose for your inner cure. Join us every day, Monday through Friday, from 8:30 a.m. to 8:45 ET. Don't forget, take your dose. See you soon. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wise-ish. I'm your host, Sister Jenna. It's America Meditating new production, and I'm looking so forward to spending this time together with you. It's interesting that we're starting out today on such an interesting note, but I wanted us to kind of, even though it's our morning power boost, I think it's really important for us to be able to pause and to recognize that if we keep feeding into all the frenzy, we are not going to have the power. So we'll go into that a little bit. It's only our 15-minute of power boost. But before I go into our program today, I have to give a big, big thank you to our graphics designer. And I'm going to give you his contact information because I think he's such a brilliant talent. And if anyone's looking for a great graphic designer, please go to the Instagram page and go to Agra FX. Let me put on my glasses. This is what happens with old age. Go to Agra, ARGRAFIX. ARGRA Fix. It's Ashish Rangrej, and you can get it at agrafix1@gmail.com. He did our work for what you're looking at with Wise-ish, and don't you love it? Give me a thumbs up if you're on Facebook or YouTube. Do you love that image or what? I mean, imagine what's happening in the nation's capital right now. We have to wake up and we have to find our power every morning. We're going to need to take our inner boost to keep us, from getting infected by a lot of different emotional debris. There's no doubt, sometimes we're just not going to have good days. We're not. But it doesn't mean that every day shouldn't be a good day. So this is your morning power boost. And what we're intending to do with Wise-ish is to connect with you in the mornings for a few minutes, to give you moments of reprise, blessings, silence, meditation, advice, the update on new things that could possibly help you through the day or with your life. So we'll host it Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 8:45 EDT. It'll be on America Meditating Facebook, America Meditating YouTube, and America Meditating Twitter. And again, we need this vibration. We're going to need this energy, especially first thing in the morning. And the intention of doing this is because, as you know, I host the America Meditating radio show, which can be heard on Spotify, iTunes, iHeart, Blog Talk, and so many other outlets. But since the pandemic, I have done daily recordings of interviews with amazing people. But because the meditation museums that are ran by the Brahma Kumars, which I direct, have been closed for the last almost 3 months, I've dedicated a lot of my time to sustaining the members and the visitors and the staff and everyone with the meditation museum. So I wasn't able to put that energy into America Meditating as I wanted to. But about a year and a half ago, we were in Florida with Sister Gita, who you all might know by now is my mother, and she's going through an interesting period in her life. And being locked down with her has been a wonderful experience for me to apply Wise-ish behaviors. But while we were in Florida, we started this idea of Wise-ish, that what we need to do is to amplify our wisdom, to become more in tune with who we are, why we're here, what's needed, so that life doesn't seem so tough all the time, that we're not going through this roller coaster of emotions all the time, that we're not being fed by news and information that maybe we are not necessarily interested in, but that, let's say you're scrolling through your YouTube and you bump across this. I would love for you to stop to just take a moment of wisdom. Let's say you're scrolling through your Facebook page. It'll be so nice that you can feel the vibrations of subtlety and power and purity and love and empathy and strength for your morning routine? Well, even though we're doing this live in the morning, it will be available for you 24/7. But we're looking at creating a cohesive energy in the morning, building a community of individuals who really want to raise the vibrations. For example, tomorrow night, if you tune into Spiritual Vaccine, which is on the Meditation Museum site, I'm going to be interviewing Lynn McTaggart, who's an author and who has done incredible work with creating groups of 8 people to develop intentionality. That if 8 people come together and really have the same positive, pure thought, it does create a shift. So if we all come together in the mornings to pray, to meditate, to reflect, to deepen a connection to our own purpose of why we're existing, to come from a place of intentionality, that would be vital, wouldn't it? And it would be very helpful. So I hope that you'll continue to join us on this journey. I don't know how long it'll last because we're still in stay-at-home orders. The museums are still not opened, but our hearts are opened. And we will continue to see how best we can be of service. Service to ourselves, service to our fans, our friends, and our community. So here's where I'd like to maybe sink us into a discussion. Last night on Spiritual Vaccine, I spoke about the consciousness of a riot versus the consciousness of one who protests. The consciousness of the one who riots has a mixed intention. It's where you have this push and pull. It's where your conscience knows you shouldn't do what you're about to do. It's where your conscience signals to you you shouldn't think what you're about to think. But you do it anyway. And if you're on the level of the protest, you can sense inside of yourself that there's something about to be birthed that's really beautiful. And you're willing to put in the energy, the tools, the right vibrations, the virtues, the values to move it forward. Whether it's love, empathy, compassion, determination, strength, courage, you put it forward. So, are you serving the riot consciousness? You know you're not supposed to do it, but you do it anyway. And you know it's going to create pandemonium. And you know it's going to create obstacles in your life. And you know that even after you do it, you might even forget. And then 5 years later, the repercussions of that energy finds you and you blame everyone else outside of yourself, forgetting that, I was in my riot consciousness. My motives weren't pure. It was strategized. It wasn't to help. It wasn't to bring up the vibration. It was to perhaps hurt or create a problem or confusion. Or is your intention focused on the protest in you? What I'm feeling isn't right, let me step up. What's happening out there isn't right, let me step up. But let me do it peacefully. I've often seen that when a peaceful, nonviolent person stands in front of a violent, aggressive person, and I'm not talking about being peace like this and nonviolent, I'm talking about a soul who has worked internally on their power of peace and their power of nonviolence. When they're in front of a violent person or a negative person, it disarms them. People who have lost sight on who they are and have become angry and hateful become disarmed when someone in front of them shows up with peace, with compassion, with understanding. I know that could be a test. We've been locked down for a few months. There's a lot of pent-up energy. But let's try it. Are you going to serve the protest? Or are you going to serve the riot in you? Which one? Our country needs us. Our world needs us. Power yourself up. Here's a meditation by Ricky Cage and myself. Enjoy it. Get to know who you are and sink deep within and rise very high. Who am I? To think and to believe that I'm divine. Powerful, beautiful, and an offspring of the divine. I am the image and likeness of the divine. And so who am I to speak clearly to who I really am? I am spirit. I am soul. And I use this physical form. I am the being of light here to fulfill love that's unlimited. Perfect. Are you feeling a little stronger for the morning? You taking your dose? My friends and family, don't feed into that debilitating energy that we're surrounded by right now in our country. You will have to make a choice. If you want a better country and a better world, you have to become a better version. That's the law. That's the law. And so I'd like to end today's first pilot of Wise-ish. And of course, I wish it was even more inspirational. But it's a somber time. It's not hopeless, but it's a somber time. And I wanted to stay genuine to the times that we're in. Also join us for the Global Coalition program on Awake TV that will be taking place at 12 p.m. PST, which I'll be sharing about the current times as well with Jennifer Hill. You just go on the website. So thank you for joining us. There's a lot more to come day to day. Take your medicine, feel good, feel powerful. And what I'd like to do is just to end our first segment in prayer for the nation, in silence for lives lost because of the interpretation of the color of someone's skin. It's a misinterpretation. We're at a point it's no more about black or white. It's what's right and what's wrong. It's what's holy and sacred versus what's vile. So could you just join me together collectively? Go behind your eyes. Connect to the soul that you are. To your peace. to your place of stillness. And send those vibrations far and wide. Have a great day today. Keep your power up. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow morning.